What is up, everybody? Turn Left Podcast, episode 61. I always almost forget. Let's get it. What's up, Raymond Patrick Murphy? Bo Tuck. What up, Fuller? So many wires. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Turn Left Podcast. I am your host, Ethan Ayers. And I know I tagged myself, but that's just to make everything easier for me. What's up, Ron Hunt? Shout out to Devin Provin. I forgot him last time, so I owe him a shout out. The show is brought to you by Sara Kay Speedshots and On Point Woodworks. Go follow both of their Facebook pages and contact them for anything you need. Shout out to also Ronnie Vance. Somebody tag Ronnie Vance. I'm getting my computer worked on. It's already working, actually, so he's doing his thing with the computer. I already had iRacing back, so like I said, I'm back. I'm back on iRacing. I know y'all are scared, you know. What up, Mason? Y'all aren't actually scared. I had like a 3-month hiatus on iRacing, and it was pretty horrible, but it was fun. I love doing it. So really, I also want the computer working for the podcast so that I can, for one, go live on YouTube. So I can do the dual monitor or the dual screen, you know, and have backstage. I wouldn't tonight, obviously, but and I just need to get a little bit better camera, because the only problem when I switch over to the computer is the camera quality goes down a little bit, but no big deal, and I'm excited to have it back. Anyway, and also the iRacing, like I got back on it last night, and there's like a new format. What's up, David? There's a new format on iRacing. Like, nothing looked the same. Like, the colors were different. Like, trying to find a race and trying to even practice was, like, totally different. So, when did that happen? And do y'all like that? I mean, I was not happy with it. Just because I don't like change, for one, anyway. But, two, I don't know. It was my first night back, so I just really wasn't ready for it. And, I don't know. It was annoying. What's up, Shannon? So, what do y'all think about the new iRacing format? It might not even be new. It was just my first night on in a long time, so that stuff pisses me off. What's up, Todd? I guested on a comedy podcast. These guys out in California, they've been doing their podcast, I think, like 4 years. So they're pretty experienced. They've got a nice setup. They got a legit producer. Shout out to Thomas. But Thickness and the Shine podcast. The audio version drops tonight at 9:30. Actually, right now. But don't turn this off yet. Once this is over, it's going to be a short and sweet one. Go over there and listen to that. What's up, Arthur? What's up, Matt? Mason, the new news kind of trash. Not to do with it. Oh, the new iRacing. Yeah, I agree, dude. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with everybody, and I've got it hooked up to the bigger TV now, so I can actually see what I'm looking at. But Thickness and the Shine podcast, I guessed it on there, and like I said, it's a comedy podcast. It's a wild one, so explicit warning. That's all I'm going to say. But again, they've been doing it like 4 years, so they're pretty experienced. They've got a nice setup. So shout out to Mike and John for having me on. I really appreciate it. Eventually I'll be setting up to do some type of Zoom call or something like that with them, and I can record it and upload it, or maybe even do live once I get the computer back. So maybe that's an option. But scheduling to have them on eventually anyway, because like I said, they're out in California, so I can't obviously have them live. And also, somebody tag Alex Brock. What's up? Where's the beer at, Alex Brock? We need the beer. To be able to taste test it, I need to have it. And don't just tag him and say, Ethan said he needs the beer. I got some news, hopefully within the week, I want to release in your show. We'll just release it now, Fuller. All right. And also On the Hammer podcast, another podcast out in California, actually, but not necessarily a comedy podcast. It's a dirt racing. Well, it's just all racing podcast. But they're dirt racing guys and dirt track announcer Joe, and it's 4 guys that do the podcast every week. They're like 4 friends, so a little bit different format. They don't have like a bunch of different guests on, but they do have people call in. They have had guests, I think, over the phone and stuff like that. So I shouldn't have said that, but they gave me a shout out. I sent them like a voicemail. Of course, well, this is a long story, but their producer's like mad at me because I didn't buy a shirt and like I don't know. So he like chopped and screwed my video like 100 times, even though it was only like a minute and a half long. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. But I'm now going to be forwarding the voicemails to a different member of the crew. Sorry, producer of the On the Hammer, Dylan. Shout out to him. I'm mostly messing with him, but yeah, it took me like I did that like 2 months ago, and then now he finally put it on there, and he said he played like 30 seconds, and his phone kept on going to sleep. It's like, what are you talking about? You're producer of a podcast. You said all those things to like 10 minutes. You never want your phone cut off. Again, just messing with y'all. Go listen to episode 11 and all the episodes on the Hammer podcast. And like I said, they actually talk about NASCAR and everything, so it's a cool podcast. I like listening to it. Is Alex Brock here yet? Where's my what's up, Eric? Where's my beer, Alex Brock? Again, the single episodes aren't always as big, but I'm fine with that, and it is sometimes easier for me, which just sounds opposite of what a lot of podcasters say. They're like, wouldn't want to do one by myself. It'd be impossible to fill the time and everything. But what's up, Mike Rudy? But sometimes it's easier because when you're conducting an interview, you're just so focused on trying to listen so that you don't just forget about them and what they're saying while you're looking down at the sheet. I don't know. It's just a lot. I'm not trying to complain. It's just the single episodes are almost easier, and I've said before I get to talk about some things that I don't always get to talk about when I'm interviewing somebody. So like guest spots on other podcasts, stuff like that. And kind of like guesting on another podcast, that's super easy just because you're not having to control the interview. You're just having questions fired at you, and you're not having to really do anything except for answer them. The thickness and the shine, that podcast is a wild ride. So that one wasn't hard, but it was definitely a lot of different topics. It was a funny one. Like I said, advisory on that. And we were going to talk a little bit about the first race at Dominion drop in kind of deal. I could. I just don't know, Todd, how I would. I could just use my phone and just go live, but the microphone and stuff is so bad. I've thought about trying to find a microphone that I could literally plug straight into my iPad, because that has enough output, I think, to be able to control one. I know this is getting kind of logistical on you, but there's a lot to that. I can't just, hey, Emily, I can't just do the microphone setup and everything, especially with video. I need to find a way to, hold the video. But I have thought about, I've got a track pass that I got for Dominion this year anyway. So, I'll be at Dominion watching a lot. So I've thought about doing, in the pits interviews and stuff like that if the track will let me. But I need a little bit more equipment for that. Like I said, a little bit different mic and a way, I don't know, to either be able to hook it up into my phone or the iPad would be a lot to carry around. So I don't know. I've thought about that, Todd. Bring the show to Langley. We got beer. All right, Mason, I'll do it. I still need to get Mason on the podcast. Langley's so far away. Dominion's at least an hour. Langley's like 2, so it makes it a little tougher, but it's really not that bad. When I went and did their podcast or show, shout out to Jack Dotson and Scott Allen. When I went and did their show, I think it only took me an hour and a half, hour and 45, but that was on a weeknight. Any chance of coming to Langley this year? You could ask my brother. I will sign you in. Yeah, I always have beer. I'll come and drink it all. I'm not driving, really this year. No pre-intentional plans to. Like I said, Aaron, you could ask my brother if he's coming to Langley. I don't really have any plans or anything. He told me I could drive his car a few times if I find the time. So I might, get into one here and there, but there's nothing on the list or anything like that for me. But Alex might. I think he is planning on coming to Langley. So I'll speak for Alex, since everybody thinks we're each other anyway. And I think he is planning on coming to Langley a couple times. Oh, you just went to Creeches from all the way down there at Langley? That's not bad. I don't live at Creeches though, Mason, but still, yeah, it's really not bad. I drove from my house, like I said, and I think it was only like an hour and 45, so it's really not that bad. I don't mind long drives. I could do it, but like I said, I need to find out, for one, if the tracks will let me in to do interviews like that, and two, a lot of the reason why I wouldn't be racing out of town is because it's just kind of a, such a traveling deal and all, and it'd be pretty much the same thing. What's up, Bo? I think Bo's been here the whole time, though. Anyway, we were going to get into the mental games a little bit. I heard something interesting the other day. I think it was like on a Bill Burr, Mike Tyson interview or something like that, podcast. And they were talking about how once Mike Tyson got comfortable in his career or whatever, like backstage before the fight or even the weeks leading up to the fight, he'd be horrified and just scared. He wouldn't tell anybody or show it. He'd be scared. And then as soon as he started walking down towards the ring, he would gain confidence and everything would start going away. And then once he stepped into the ring, he knew he was unbeatable. That was later in his career, which is, in my opinion, like racing, boxing and racing, pretty much all sports are a lot mental, especially racing, in my opinion. But it's the opposite. Like when you start out, in my opinion, or at least for me, you go into the first race weeks leading up thinking you're like the man. Like you might win this race, you're going to do well, everything's going to go great. And then as soon as the green flag drops, you're horrified, or even once you get in the car, you're horrified and everything just breaks loose and you're just screaming at the top of your lungs. So what's up, Brian? What's up, Matt? So that's when you start out for me. I was like so confident going in, and then once the green flag drops, I'm like terrible and just everything's way too chaotic to actually keep up with. So but once you go later in your career, and I've talked to Chapman about this, how he can't even think about racing because it makes him sick. It doesn't really scare him. It's just like the weeks leading up to it. I don't know. It just gives you anxiety or makes you nervous. But as soon as it's race day and you're in the track and you start getting into the car and leading down, it's almost like Mike Tyson going down to the ring. It's not like that, but you can see the translation I'm making. You just start to gain more and more confidence. I had a better angle I was going to try to put on this, but I'm not trying to say that we're like Mike Tyson because we drive race cars. But when you get into the mental game of it, at the beginning of your career, you're so confident, and then as soon as it's actually go time, you're pretty much horrified. At the end of your career, you're kind of scared leading up to it. Not necessarily scared of, technically scared, but scared of losing, scared of embarrassing yourself, scared of failure, anything. But once you start getting closer and closer to the race, all that kind of goes away, and you sit there and you've been there before. You know that you've been there not before a bunch of times, and that track time or fight time or whatever is paid off. And I always relate it to like a Cooper Webb. I don't know how many people. The waiting is the worst part. I don't know how many people watch motocross or supercross here, but this is a very long time ago quote by Cooper Webb that I barely even knew Cooper Webb, and I became a Cooper Webb fan that night. He said, because getting on a motocross or like a dirt bike or getting into a motocross race, supercross race, that's like legitimately horrifying. You don't have a cage wrapped around you, and you're just hitting huge jumps. So that definitely would and used to scare me. But he used to say that every single time he starts to doubt himself or get scared, or he would just remind himself, I've been here before, this is what my sponsors pay me to do, there's a reason why I'm here, and not somebody else, and just try to calm himself down that way. So I don't know, I just, not only did I use that kind of mentality from then on, or I maybe already had, but it reminded me of it every time. That when you're getting into that situation, the more and more experience you get, you just, like, I know why I'm here, and, I know why my sponsors put me here, and you're not as worried about it. But, like I said, your confidence in the waiting part almost goes down because, the more and more successful you get, the harder it is to lose. So the fear of losing goes up. Does that make sense to anybody? Brock Brew Company, that's what it is. I botched it to pieces. But the Brock Brew Company is working on some spring releases. Well, we were supposed to have some last week. Is it spring yet? I don't know. But I'm just giving you a hard time, Alex. But we can definitely try some out on here. I'm trying to. Do I have a beer mustache? I went a little faster than I wanted to there. But yeah, or is it cider? Is it beer or cider, Alex? Let me know. What's up, Brian McGaffick? So yeah, the mind games. Damn, that always scares me. I don't know why that thing cuts off so soon. I feel like Dylan. But yeah, the difference between the beginning and the end of your racing career is just such stellar differences, in my opinion, for me, between the, what you're anxious about as opposed to, the beginning and the end. It just changes so much. Yes, right now we have the Pit Stop Pilsner, a 4.0 8-week winter naturally chilled. I don't really know what that means. I'll try it though, Alex. I'll taste it. Taste test. Also, another racing tip, in my opinion. Never look at the guy next to you. When you go up to then we have a 7% pineapple cider along with some 3.8% raspberry-like cider that's ready. I'll try them out, Alex. But yeah, say if you're pulling up to, not a racing buddy, but just a racing acquaintance on the front row or anywhere. So it could be anywhere, second row, third row. A lot of times you want to look over at him. He looks over at you. It's like, hey, what do we, you wave. And a lot of times the green flag drops and you think that's like a cordial, like, hey, we're going to race clean. I see you, you see me type of thing. And a lot of times you go, a lap until that is totally out the window coming from sometimes their end. But I don't know. I don't remember who I learned it from, but I just remember, I don't care if I'm next to my brother, I try not to even look over. I literally just keep my head straight ahead, dude. And you can look over, but don't look over and then think that everything's going to be good, because they'll still slam your shit. That's all I'm saying. I just think that, if you look over, just be ready to be aggressive yourself. Don't say that everything's going to definitely be good now. Or just solve it by not even looking over. And then when they look over at you and you're not looking over and you refuse to, they kind of know what's up, too. It's like it's game time. It's not, we're not playing this, hey, buddy. None of that shit. Whatever happens in the next 5-10 minutes or however long is, what everybody's going to have to deal with. So, my recommendation, and as far as the mind games are concerned, because here's another thing about racing, it's a lot mind games. Brad Keselowski had a good quote one time. He said that, anybody can drive a race car. A lot of them, I guess a lot of them don't, but a lot of them do have power steering, power brakes. It doesn't take, other than maybe the heat, but, a lot of people can handle the heat. You don't have to be a big, strong man or anything, like you would in football or UFC or boxing, any of that, to drive a race car. You see little, maybe not Eric Jones, he's not that small, but you see little tiny guys doing it, and you see real big guys doing it. There's not any really difference. So it's, when you think about it, racing is legitimately all a mental game. Because anybody knows how to drive. Most people do it every day. So it's not like hitting a baseball. I haven't hit a baseball in 10 years. Everybody drives every day. So that's another reason, that's part of the problem with racing, is everybody thinks that they can do it. But that's a whole other subject. But, with it being essentially a 100% mental game, kind of like chess or something like that, when if you play that role and not even look over, it could put something, you don't know what's going to happen. It depends on who you're doing it to, but it's pretty much across the board for me. I just, It wasn't always like that, but I don't look over at anybody, and it's just easier that way. Because if I don't know, I don't need to get into that, but anything can happen, and then they're like I said, everybody thinks that means, or a lot of times I thought it meant like, oh, I see you, you see me, we're kind of buddies, and everything should be good, but that's not always the case. So don't always take it for something. I didn't call you Little Ronnie. I said Christopher Bell, didn't I? No, I said Eric Jones. I will say the Southside Light is the thought process coming to April 2021. Alex Brock, when is the Southside Speedway tribute race on iRacing? I'm back. I'm back on iRacing, and I'm wondering, when is the Southside Speedway iRacing race that you promised? I need answers, Alex Brock. I read really slow, so give me a second. And I write really fast and not that well. I was rushing. Not Russian. I'm American, but I was rushing. Oh, yeah, we're almost to 1 year. I said that last week, but we're even closer, and we're not there yet. But hopefully I'll be at 1.5K by then. We still need to boost up the YouTube. But let's make it happen. All the boys either lost interest or got too good. Who's all the boys? I don't even know what that means, Alex. Just set it up like you do the rest of the races. People win. Or does it have to be money? Where are we going to put the money towards? We just make it a paid event like the winner gets the money. I'm sure somebody can give Buck Roos a setup and he can announce that jank too. Somebody tag Buck Roos, but don't just tag him like y'all did to Alex Brock, so I have to explain everything. Tag Buck Roos and say, would you commentate on an iRacing Southside Speedway memorial race? I'm sure he'd do it. That would be tight. Also, like and share the video. And go over to YouTube and subscribe. But we're not worried about YouTube right now. We're on Facebook. That's what we need to worry about. Exactly. You promote it, and it's at eBullring 150 laps. All right, well, you set it up, bro. I don't even know how to set up a race on iRacing. I don't even know how to use iRacing anymore. They changed their format. Hollywood, I told you to add some text and tell him what we're tagging him for. So he would have to, he's not going to be able to go back and listen to what I just said unless he waits until the video's over and then, what I mean? Tag Kyle. He made all the Blake Morris race. Kyle who? There's a lot of Kyles. Kyle Busch? Kyle Wood? Which Kyle are we talking about, Alex Brock? I don't care who makes the race happen. I'm just, I'm just trying to get in there. I got iRacing back, and now I'm excited for this Southside Speedway Memorial race. I think we need to figure out also some way to not televise it, but at least get it like to where you can, click a link on Facebook. Oh, Kyle Fowler, of course. So we tag Kyle Fowler. I don't know. You should have already tagged him. Brock? Come on, bro. Come on, Brock. Bro? I don't know. Sorry. Bad joke. But yeah, we're almost at a year. We're closer. I already said that. Schedule's changing. No Chris Phillips Friday. Chris Phillips Saturday. No BJ Saturday. No BJ ever again. Just kidding. We'll have BJ on sometime soon. Chris Phillips Saturday. We were supposed to have a stand-up comedian on Sunday. He's got to go to Florida. He's got to jet out. But I've already booked him for the Sunday after. He did tell me, message him Thursday to make sure again. So I'm a little worried. But hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, that's comedian Scott Wharton. If you go give him a follow and he sees that maybe I gave him some traffic, maybe he'll be more enticed. But he's the Steffi. You guys gotta. I can read him now, but y'all never make sense. Or maybe I missed something, but I can't scroll up right now, so I don't have the thing. My bad, Alex Brock. I've been being hard on Alex Brock tonight. He'll be okay. Oh yeah. So the schedule's changed, and y'all heard that. Chris Phillips, Saturday night. Book it. Let's do it. Tune in. When I post the promo, like and share that, or love it, whatever. Which, and not having this, Friday, not having the triple header and just having the Saturday night might be better. I've been running behind on housework. Not really running behind. I've been doing a lot of it, but, a triple header would definitely set me behind. I got a lot of painting to do. I was painting all day last Saturday, and the Saturday before that, I think, or maybe it was the Saturday before that, me and TJ dropped the tree, so I've been getting after it, but it's just tough doing, everything at once, counting, the full-time job. But like last Saturday, I was painting all day and then, half hammered by the time the show started. Not really, but it's hard to, painting makes you thirsty, It's hard to paint sober. But we got it done. Shout out to Bo. That episode's doing pretty well, so go check that one out if you haven't seen it or listened to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else. Like I said, we might do some on-track interviews this year. Just might need some equipment changes. Venmo, Turn Left Podcast, all one word. Let's go to Southside. General consensus, do we want to run all the series that Southside ran or just late models? That's a good question, Alex Brock. I think that we should run at least 3 of them. I don't know much about iRacing. Do they have modifieds? I don't know. I think that, whatever I can wreck you in, Brock. That's funny. What's up, Kyle Fowler? We're trying to set up a Southside Speedway Memorial race. So, Kyle Fowler, you get on it. Let's do it. Y'all scared. That's why it hasn't happened yet. What is that track called? I can't remember, but I think you definitely need a late model race in. That way I can get dead last, and then you need to have a street stock race in so I can get third from last. And then you can have a Miata race. That way I can get, 5th. That'd be nice. But, Bullring. Is that the name of the track? Alex Brock has half of a thumb. He's only just one-word comments. I'm excited for this, though. So, Alex Brock, Kyle Fowler, if y'all can make it happen. And like I said, are we going to do paid entry, or are we just going to do... Because, we don't have, a donation. We can find a donation, or, something to put it towards, or we can just actually pay the winner. We can have a purse. That wouldn't be bad. Don't make it too expensive, though. We're not talking $50, $100 to get into these janks. And try not to do, whatever, late model is the cheapest. That way if people, don't have all the crazy late models and stuff, they can afford to get into the race without, breaking the bank. Winner payout in the top 10. We don't have to pay out the top 10, Kyle Fowler. We're not trying to make winners out of losers here. We can just do the top 3 maybe at the most. Probably would pay better than a real race out there. Well, hey now. Have you ever been to Dominion? Yeah, they don't pay that well. I think you win a race at Dominion as far as UCAR. You get a hot dog. So, although they do charge you 9 arms and 5 legs for a tire at Southside Speedway. So, but yeah, you win a race at Dominion, they mail you 3 stamps. It's like, what is this? I'd rather win at Shenandoah, where they at least say you're going to win 100 and then they never send it to you. Yeah, there's worse tracks, guys. Let's not try to bash Southside Speedway. Rest in peace. Goodness. Too soon. Too soon, Patrick Murphy. Too soon. I think that's all I got for you guys tonight. Like I said, I try to keep it somewhat short and sweet. Y'all got any questions? I said I'd give some questions. All I did was just, harass Alex Brock the whole time, but I'm sure he's fine with it. Tell me more about that race, though, Alex Brock. We don't have to now, but you can message me after. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to play iRacing again, Get back after it. I setup is worth about whatever you'd win at Dominion if you won the race, but dang. See, the computer man, Ronnie Vance, right there. Computer's working as well. So, hey, Ronnie, even if you don't get it working, dude, I can run that thing off the old VGA. I can't remember the terminology. He knows a lot about computers, so I'm trying to keep up. Alex Brock, call in. 804-621-6278. 804-621-6278. It's a different number tonight. I don't know if this one has any, or you can try 887-0754. This one might be dead right now. Well, they're both pretty dead. Ooh. Who do you plan on having guests in the future? I got Chris Phillips Saturday. I think the following Saturday I'd have to look at my schedule, but Cowboy Dan's trying to get on. I've talked to Blankenship recently. I try to get Howie DeCivino on, but it's tough. Hold on, we got a call coming in right now. How you doing? Is this Alex Brock?
It is.
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good. So here's what we need to do. I mean, Kyle did such a good job constructing the Blake Morris race. And there was a lot to learn from that race. So I think ideally if we can just put everything together and learn from what we did on that race, because we had a ton of sponsorship. We had a good race format. And, you know, if you can just take everything from that they learned and apply this to the good home Southside group, I think we can really make something happen out of this. And, I mean, you can also get people like Dotson that doesn't even have iRacing, like go jack somebody's thing for the day.
Would he do that, though?
Do what?
Would he do that, though? I don't know if he would do that.
I don't know, but, I mean, just think about that. Having, like, Chris Hopkins, Eddie Johnson, Chris Dotson, like, if you can get those names, like, rile this up, you know, that final bash at Southside Speedway, Bud Allen, I mean, just, like, the people that really made the modern-day Southside, if we can get that, that would just be the final closeout that I think everybody wants.
I agree. No, I agree. I just don't know if some of these guys – I want to set up also additionally a Southside Speedway golfing tournament. So me and Chris talked shortly about that on the podcast before the podcast that night. And I think that he'd definitely be willing to do that. And that would, I think, be a big hit too. But I just don't know if, like, Eddie Johnson and him would be willing to do, like, a video game type race. Or I'm sure as they would view it.
Yeah, but I'm telling you now, I'm calling out Dotson, Hopkins, and Eddie Johnson to get on iRacing that night and race us all and let's have a good time. Because, I mean, that's going to bring people. That's going to bring donations. I mean, these guys in the past 10 years is really what made Southside. Heck, if you can get O'Neill and Fernandez, I mean, just, the people that made Southside the last 10 years, that's what it's all about.
I agree, dude. If you can get, especially 3 or 5 of those guys, especially those guys to show up like you said, I mean, we can really get sponsors on. Because, I mean, dude, just Chris Dotson and Eddie Johnson, if you get those 2 guys on, there, I mean, that would everybody would be coming to watch that.
Absolutely, and we make the setup fixed. At that point, we don't have all these people grinding out setups for weeks that have nothing to do. At that point, we have the level playing field. All we do is go out there and have fun and just have at it.
All right, well, I mean, I know that those are 5 legendary drivers, but what about some love for some of the other divisions? Who else is a legendary person you'd like to see on there? Because does Austin Dodge still play iRacing? I think he's been on a hiatus, so we need to involve him back in there and a couple others.
Mike Chapman's always there. He's either wrecking everything or missing wrecks, and he always gets wrecked on the last green line checkered. So,
well, he'll be there anyway, just like me and you. But we're talking about like people that don't normally have it that we need to get involved.
Let's get Stinson in there. Mike Rudy.
That'd be good. I think Mike Rudy has it. I can't remember. Maybe not.
I didn't know that. Like, let's get these guys. Mike Gano. I mean,
I don't know.
The guys that made street stock racing back in the day.
That was me, Alex Brock. I'm just kidding.
Tommy Jackson. I mean, you name it.
He might have a setup, does he? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he does. Ryan Matthews. I know he has a really good setup.
Well, I don't know if both of those 2 can be in the same race, but
that's the point. That's what I'm saying. Bring everybody that's had a feud together at Southside. Mix all the divisions and just let them have it at it. Andrew Fuller will win this race, guaranteed.
I know. Well, I can, like I said, I can guarantee right now if you can put it, or if you and Kyle can put it in stone that, Chris Dodson and Eddie Johnson are going to race that race, at least the late model one, you could get sponsors out the frame and everything for that.
Yeah. So everybody that's listening right now, start tagging everybody. Let's get it going. Like I said.
Yeah, tag Chris Dodson. What do you want me to? Do you want me to text Chris Dodson, or do you want to talk to him?
Yeah. No, I don't have his number. You get Mason Bailey to text him. That'll get it going good.
Oh God, is Mason Bailey going to be there? Does he have a setup?
Oh yeah, him and Parker Brookfield have a good setup. So
Dang.
there's so much potential there.
They must have been too scared to race me back in the day when I was on it to begin with.
I know, dude. You were hauling butt.
Oh, I know. All right, well, let's try to set it up. I'm for real about it, and you let me know, and I'll try to text him. I don't have Eddie Johnson's contacts, but I can probably get it, and I'll message around. I don't know if they'll be down for that, but if they are not, all right, would you be part of the golf tournament?
I suck at golf. I've never played golf.
Oh, dude, I'm horrible. That's not the point.
Drive Shack's about as far as I would go. I think that'd be more fun for all of us.
I don't think that's true, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll ask around. We'll go for it.
All right, sounds good, buddy. Thank you for everything.
All right, no problem, buddy.
Talk to you soon.
Later. All right, well, there you have it. Tripped over my word there at the end. All 9 of them. But hopefully the race happens. That would be cool. If he can actually get Chris Dodson and Eddie Johnson, or if we can, that would be epic. Like I said, if that doesn't happen, we can, I think, do a golfing tournament or something like that. Got these stains in my cup. But anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Mike Rudy, you have a crappy computer. That's okay. As long as it works, it'll be okay. Thanks for tuning in again. Thanks for Alex Brock for calling in. Thanks for Kyle Fowler for tuning in to, hopefully, get something worked out. At least get it like a, date set. To contact me about that first 2, though, so I can, let who I'm going to talk to know about it. But, oh yeah, guests, future guests. Who do y'all want to see? Comment right now. Let me know who you want to see. I'll see all these comments after if I don't see them right now. But Cowboy Dan, I talked to David Blankenship recently. Craig Oliver, Jack Dotson, Scott Allen. I could go on and on, guys. I mean, it's gotten to be a lot. So although it's still hard to schedule them. It's not them, anybody specifically. It's just like everybody's not always got an excuse. It's just like, oh, can I do the next weekend? It's like, well, that one's already booked out. It's like, you want to do a month from now, and then everything gets, combobbled, and then somebody cancels, and it's like, dang. But that's the business we're in now. All right, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. Like and share this podcast, and find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else afterward. See you Saturday with Chris Phillips. And like and share that promo once I post it. Also go and listen to The Thickness and the Shine. Thickness and the Shine. And On the Hammer. Episode 11 and 1 through 10. Peace out, everybody.